rain sitting at 63 degrees under a mostly sunny sky here in downtown Rochester. Good morning, Dick. How you doing?
Good morning. It is going to be a great weekend. Lots of things happening, which Tanner's going to tell us all about that in a little bit. But of course, this is Father's Day Sunday
Yeah.
coming up here. If you have a father, you like to buy him a tie. Oh, no ties anymore, right?
No.
Okay.
I just buy mine a gift card and tell him, here, happy Father's Day. I didn't know where you wanted to go buy it yourself.
Good as anything.
Bill Olinger has secured a third place finish in this year's primary election to retain an at-large seat at the Fulton County Council. She beat Lisa Heidi by 1 vote.
Pretty close.
Looks like it's going to be a warm one this weekend. Temperatures in the high 80s and low 90s.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah. Stay inside if you can.
Yeah.
We're really needing rain. I notice a lot of the irrigation systems, if not all, are running now out in the on the farmland, and but there's a chance of showers tomorrow. Capitol Confederate portraits are being pulled out of the Capitol. What do you think of that?
Not surprised, really. All the statues are going down mostly, so.
Yeah. Okay, got a little trivia here on Father's Day. Father's Day was founded on the third Sunday of June in what year? 1890, 1910, or 1930? Think about that, Paul.
I'm going to have to.
In the meantime, Tanner Lee, give us some sports information.
Yeah, I got a few things to update everybody on. The first one was the Purdue University community, the sports community, received some sad news earlier this week. Longtime athletic director Morgan Burke passed away at the age of 68. You knew him fairly well, Dick.
I did. I was around him a lot, and he did a very nice job for Purdue. He was there like 25 years, and you know, he was captain of the swimming team when he was a student at Purdue. Went on to law school, then went on to a steel company and practiced law, and worked there for several years, and then Purdue went up and hired him 25 or so years ago, 28 years ago, and he just retired 3 years ago. In the meantime, he actually resigned at one point to go back to that job in the Calumet area, and he told me, he said, my wife and I didn't realize it was so bad up there till we went up there for a week, and that was it. We decided to come back. His wife was a pharmacist and practiced there in West Lafayette. So, great loss, very rare disease he had. I think he'd been ill for about a year.
Yeah, I think that was kept under wraps for the most part, because when it was announced the other day, took a lot of people by surprise.
That's correct.
So, but he will definitely be missed. He did a lot for Purdue, for their facilities, for their non-revenue sports, besides just the revenue sports. So, and he also hired Joe Tiller and Matt Painter. So those are the two of the highlights of his career. Golf is back. It returned last week, or live golf, I should say, is back. Daniel Berger won the Charles Schwab Challenge in a playoff. Interesting thing about him, he's only won 3 times on the PGA Tour, but all 3 of his wins have come during the second week of June throughout his career. Just kind of a weird stat there, I don't know.
Maybe that's his week.
I would say it's definitely his week for some reason. The RBC Heritage is going on this week, another really good field. That's the neat thing right now, is a lot of these big name guys that wouldn't be playing in these tournaments are playing in the tournaments because they haven't played in a couple months and want to try to get some FedEx Cup points and get some of that rust off. So there is golf on TV if you're looking for something live to watch. Besides racing, of course, NASCAR and IndyCar are still in action this weekend. So another exciting weekend of racing.
Oh, yeah.
And for local baseball fans, the Long Gone Summer documentary that highlighted the 1998 home run race between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, that aired this past Sunday on ESPN. It was a 2-hour documentary. Pretty entertaining documentary for the most part. I learned a little bit about each guy and what happened during that year and that summer in particular. So it was kind of fun to take a trip back in time and relive that when they saved baseball.
Yeah.
Which right now baseball's in a mess that if things don't go a certain way, I don't know if it can be saved. So we will see.
My thought is maybe they can do what they did then again this year and maybe save the game.
Maybe. Got some tidbits here this morning. On this day in 1978, Garfield the cat, created by Jim Davis, first appeared in a comic strip. Kind of became somewhat of an icon. On this day in 1992, the movie Batman Returns was released. You seen that movie, Paul?
Yeah.
Yep. Starring Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito as the Penguin. On this day in 2000, the Los Angeles Lakers defeated the Indiana Pacers 4-2 to win the NBA championship. That'd be Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal's first championship won together out of 3 in a row. And that was the Pacers' only NBA Finals trip to date in franchise history. And today is National Garfield the Cat Day, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
It's also Take Back the Lunch Break Day. I kind of wondered what that was. I clicked on it and it just means make sure you enjoy your lunch break. So take
What's
that
a
time
lunch
back
break?
for yourself. And it's also Martini Day and Sauntering Day. So that's all I got quick this morning since we got 2 guests. I want to give them plenty of time. So
Okay, all right, thank you,
you're
Dan.
welcome.
Fulton County Historical Society is serving a breakfast tomorrow from 7 to 11 at the Fulton County Museum. All the proceeds go towards the operating fund at the Historical Society. Habitat for Humanity golf outing will be on Saturday, August 15th. You got something to do with that?
Yeah.
Tanner, tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm on the Habitat board, and this is one of my responsibilities this year is to put this golf outing together. So we'll be, like you mentioned, Dick, on Saturday, August 15th this year. That's up a month earlier from last year was in September. It's going to be 8 o'clock registration and a 9 o'clock tea time on that morning. $100 to be a whole sponsor, $250 to have a 4-person team, $300 to do both. So a little special there if you want to do both, be a whole sponsor and get a team in there, get a little bit of a break. You can mail a check to Fulton County Habitat for Humanity at P.O. Box 843, Rochester, Indiana 46975, and or you can see me for a registration flyer. I got plenty of them, and so do a few other board members. So just get a hold of me if you have any more questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, a week from Saturday, not this coming Saturday, a week from Saturday, the Mintoad Flying Club are having their annual breakfast out at the airport. That's always a big event, so you might want to put that on your list. RSVP is sponsoring a Cape Cod Boston trip, October 25th to 31st for $919. That's an annual event that they do every year, and I think if you're interested in going out east and seeing Cape Cod and the things around the Boston city, that's a thing to do. Okay, some milestones. Well, JFK's sister, Jean Kennedy Smith, died at 92. She was the last of the brothers and sisters. She was 8th of the 9 that they had.
I was gonna say I didn't know there was any remaining. So
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
92. Okay, the 50th wedding anniversary being celebrated by James and Janet Morgan and Jack and Jerry Kimminger. Also, Bernie and Grace Holloway are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to them. 80th birthday, Richard Hassenblug. He's celebrating 80th birthday coming up soon. Some flowers this morning. Let's give some flowers to REMC for their gift of $1,500 to the outlet. That comes from their Roundup program. Those of us that are on REMC know that the bills are rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that goes into this fund. It's a voluntary thing that you can do or not do, so I would recommend that you round up your bill. Also, the RMC is having their annual meeting at the fairgrounds starting this Monday afternoon. If you're a member, RMC member, if you just go and register and you can vote, you get a $25 credit on your bill, so.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Take a look at that. Flowers also to the county officials. The landscaping around the courthouse is really nice, and this is prime time. We need a little rain, and Paul's gonna take care of that on Saturday.
I'm gonna try to.
Okay, all right. A little personal note here, flowers to my grandson, William. He graduates from Northwestern today noon. Congratulations to him. In money news, Dow was down 39 yesterday. New housing permits in May were 1.22 million. That's 11-year high. That's really for things that are going on in the economy. Now, what's fueling that is there's a lot of desire and need out there for first-time home buyers. And also the interest rates are really, really good. I see Quaker Oats is doing away with Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, what has that been around about 130 years?
130 years Aunt Jemima's been around.
And I saw the company, they're not with Quaker Oats, but Uncle Ben's, the rice, they're gonna redo their logo a little bit too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I saw some mayor up in Minnesota is proposing to do away with the word chief in the cities, like chief of police and chief of fire chief.
Interesting. I did not hear that.
Interesting.
That's a stretch, I think. Okay, our lobbies are closed, but our drive up is still open today and tomorrow during normal work hours. Tell us some things, Tanner, that we can do for our customers.
Absolutely. You can always bank with us online and with our mobile app, which is free to download no matter if you have an Android device, Apple device. Just go into your app store, look for the white star with the green background. Of course, that's First Federal Savings Bank. And like I mentioned, it's free to download. The great thing about this, you can do a lot of things just straight from your phone. You can check your checking accounts. You can deposit money. You can take a picture of your check, deposit right in there. You can transfer money person to person through Zelle, which is free to sign up if you have bill pay. You can do a lot of things, so it's going to save you a bunch of time and a trip probably through the drive-thru if you don't want to trip through the drive-thru. Just do it right there from your tablet or your mobile device. And our ATM is also open 24/7 if you do need some cash. So.
We offer many different mortgage products such as conventional loans, one-step construction loans, premier, first-time home buyer loans, and more. Our loan originators, Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson here in Rochester, can provide you with details. Just a little information about the mortgage lending. I get questions all the time about how the virus has affected us. Our loan production is almost double last year. I'm not sure why, except for the low interest rates and the demand that's out there. We offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lindy Breeden for more information. We also offer financial services. Contact Mark Bubaugh or Brian Bell today for more information. And tell us about Facebook and all those things.
Yeah, you can like us on Facebook, of course, which the First Federal Radio Show airs live every Friday morning, 7:30. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at our handle, which is at FFBanking. You can like us on LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can find all the past archive radio shows on there. I also forgot to mention, right now, of course, we're offering Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. And when you open a new checking account right now, you get a free gift, which is a cooler bag for now. And I say for now because we're supposed to be giving away some party tubs. They're like outdoor cooler type tubs you put ice in and everything. Well, the distributor that makes those is in New York, so they were backlogged a little bit. Those should be coming next week. So you
Okay.
might have an option here soon of a cooler bag or tote as it's properly called, or a party tub. So, so it's a good time to come in and open up a checking account if you're not happy with your current financial institution or bank, or just wanna get another checking account for yourself. Now's the time.
It's kinda like the checks in the mail when you give him these excuses and it will be in soon.
Yeah,
A party tub,
party tub.
who selected that?
There's a handful of people, I'll just say that.
A committee?
A little committee, yeah.
Good, alright. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't wanna be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are a member of FDIC and an equal lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
I think that
Come on
makes
up,
us legal.
guest. Our guest today is Brian Johnson, Director of Development for the Fulton County Community Foundation, and Kathy Siders of the Matthews Market. Welcome, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, now, you got an event coming up next week.
We've got an event coming up next week. Gonna be actually on the radio.
Yeah.
WROI, we've been talking about this for about a month, working out some details, but when this whole pandemic started, we were seeing some emergency needs, and a lot of organizations rose to meet those needs, but we were talking about how we could raise some funds for that, as well as share some positive ideas. So next Thursday, the 25th, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we're going to be on WROI.
Now, wait a minute, 6 to 6?
6 to 6.
You're gonna last that long?
I hope so. I don't know. I might have to borrow some of Paul's Monster before the day's over
Yeah,
to get that done.
that's
But
what gets me through.
yeah, but during the day, of course, we're going to be raising monies for our emergency relief fund that will go to help needs in the community related to the pandemic. And then we're also, we've invited organizations. I know Kathy's here today representing Matthews Market. We'll have a representative next week on as well. But we've invited organizations to come in and share some of the stories and share how they're helping out in the community as well. We also have a dollar for dollar match up to $5,000 total that we'll be matching for any gifts to that fund.
Where's that 5,000 coming from?
It's the community foundation had some money that we're able to match with, so we're providing our own money to help encourage some donations to that fund, and then those donations will then go out to the community to help frontline organizations provide services for those in need.
Okay, Kathy, welcome. Glad to have you here this morning.
Thank
And I
you.
know you've worked with Matthews Markets, as you told me, from day one.
Yes,
And,
I have.
and how many years has that been?
Well, it seems like just yesterday, but I believe it's right around 8 years.
Okay, tell us about Matthews Market.
Okay, Matthews Market, excuse me, is here to help people in need for food items. We're open 3 days a week, Mondays and Fridays from 11:30 to 1:30, and then on Thursday evenings from 4 to 6. Before the pandemic, the clients just came in and walked through the pantry and chose the items that they thought they could use. But since the pandemic, we had to change that. And we now give them a shopping list. No one's allowed in except the volunteers. So they go through their shopping list and mark what they need, and then we put together the order for them, and they pick it up outside. We've missed the contact with people. You get to know your clients and kind of their story, and you kind of make friends, and we don't have that kind of contact right now. So.
Yeah, that's true with all of us. And
Yes.
everything that we do.
Yeah,
The
miss that.
The contact's just not there. Well, Brian Johnson of the foundation, how did you come up with this idea, and tell us how you distribute the funds?
Well, this kind of started as a conversation between myself and a couple folks here at the radio station. And if you've listened to the news, you know there's a little bit of negativity in it right now. I mean, not necessarily intentional, but it's there. And so what we wanted to do was, in addition to raising funds, was kind of share some of the good stories that we don't hear in the community all the time. We have so many folks and organizations that are serving, and I guess I'd say they're kind of quiet servants. And we really wanted to highlight and say thank you to those organizations and hear some of those stories, because I think as we go through the day, you're going to be encouraged by what you hear and realize that there's a lot of good people in our community. You hear about the drastic things that happen, but you don't hear about the good things that happen every day and the folks that are serving others every day. And so we really wanted to be able to highlight that. And then throughout this whole process, we've actually been working and communicating with frontline organizations. We hold a weekly video conference for anybody that has information to share with different organizations. And so we've been trying to keep up on needs, and it's been really neat to see how collaborations have come out of that, but we've also been able to provide some funding to these frontline organizations. So we actually are working with collecting information, trying to provide these funds that have been and will be raised to the organizations supplying needs. An example is recently we heard from the food pantries that they were running out of ground beef to be able to distribute with boxed meals. I mean, it's called Hamburger Helper for a reason, because you need hamburger to make it. If you don't have hamburger, it's very difficult to give out a box meal and say, here, you take this home and make a meal out of it, but we don't have any hamburger. So we've been able to work a couple times with different organizations, say thank you to First Federal, the most recent one. Last Tuesday, Robin was able to bring back to the community about 450 pounds of ground beef, thanks to First Federal helping us purchase that. And distribute to our area food pantries. I think we had 5 different pantries in the area that received this meat. And so things like that have been bright spots throughout the community.
Okay, you got 5 different organizations. Can you tell us who some of them are?
Well, those organizations, in this case, was specifically with the beef. So we have, of course, Matthews Market, United Ministries Food Pantry, United We Stand Ministries in Akron, the Kiwanis Community Food Pantry, and also the DeLong Food Pantry. So we're able to distribute that beef out to those organizations, and they're in the process of getting that out to their clients now. So.
Okay, I see on your release that people that give at least $100
Yeah.
gets a T-shirt.
Yeah, well,
I noticed.
can we show the back of Paul's shirt maybe to the camera? Tanner's working the camera here.
Mm-hmm, got it.
We're trying to make this a fun thing, so we've made the offer. Anybody that donates $100 or more to the Community Relief Fund, we'll provide them with this T-shirt. The front says "Kindness isn't canceled," and the back has our logo with a note saying that I've donated to the Community Relief Fund. So just kind of a fun thank you. So if you've donated, I'm working on early next week getting shirts out to folks who have already donated. So keep your ears open for that, and thank you to everybody who has donated, and just kind of a fun thing that will go along with the program next Thursday.
Okay, along that line, I have a check here that I'd like to give to you for the program next week.
We
And
appreciate
I
that.
have my shirt already.
You have your shirt already, yes. Yeah.
You notice you didn't let me touch the
Yeah,
check.
absolutely. I've known you too long. Kathy, now, you've been involved with Matthews Market since the day it started. Why? What's your motivation every day to get involved?
Well, excuse me, because, quite frankly, I knew that it was needed in this community, and I was excited about it when the project was started. And I remember standing in the market the day that Robin was explaining to those of us that might be interested about what we were going to be trying to do and what we would be doing, and it was just, my heart said, this is it. And I really look forward to it. I look forward to the volunteers. They've become my second family, and we all work together so well. And these are the people behind the scenes that people have no idea what they do, and yet they give, some of them give up to 20 hours a week to this project. And Robin gives a lot more than that. But you feel like you're helping, but I really feel like I get more back from it than what I give. And it's, when we look at the pantry, when we first opened, and how it was and how it is today, we all say we never imagined ever that it would grow like it has. And it's through people like Dick Belcher and First Federal and so many others out there that have supported not only just Martha's Market, but other programs like this that helps keep us up and going, and we are very grateful for that. And I never realized how many people in Fulton County needed this kind of assistance, and they do. I think we see it with the elderly and with our children the most. And I love doing it. I miss it if I can't be there.
I see and hear your sincerity.
That's why.
That's great. All right, tell us, Brian, next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Give us the highlights there.
So we're gonna be starting at 6 a.m. We're gonna hear from organizations like local food pantries, a local school corporation, some local short-term assistance organizations, our local free medical clinic, Passion Health Center, just a bunch of good people that have done some good things. And I think it'll be interesting throughout the day to hear not only what the organizations do, but how they've been able to organize and work with other organizations in the community as well, and some of the needs we're hearing from a lot of organizations that they're seeing people for the first time. Maybe folks that have never needed this type of assistance, but now, because of whatever it be, whether it be job related or different circumstances related to the pandemic, that they're now needing assistance. So it'll be exciting. We'll talk with some really good organizations that have that folks may not know about, and also there'll be some information if there's folks listening that are in need of assistance that these organizations may be able to connect with and get that assistance that they need. So we're starting at 6 a.m. going until 6 p.m. We'll have a different guest every hour. Looking forward to that. And if folks want to donate either now or leading up to that day, they can do that. Either if they want to mail a check, our P.O. box is 807 here in Rochester. You can go online, our website, NICF, and there's a donate now button. Every little donation helps. My donation combined with Dick's donation combined with the others that we've received will make a big impact in the community. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who is participating in the program, and also thank you to those who have donated and are planning to donate.
And I assume that the donation is tax deductible?
It is, yep. All donations are tax deductible.
Brian Johnson of the Fulton County Community Foundation, thank you for coming. Kathy Siders of Matthews Market, thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you.
Since it was Sunday is Father's Day, our trivia today, Father's Day was founded on the third Sunday of June in what year? 1890, 1910, or 1930? Oh,
I'm gonna go 1930.
you are not right.
Okay.
Oh,
Tanner got me.
It's 1910.
Okay,
It
so
was-
I almost went there, but I was like, we'll go 30.
That was the first one, and that was in Seattle, Washington, at a Y. Later on, a national wide mandate was given by Congress in 1972, making it Father's Day on that, in June. Well, let's close with this, words of wisdom from Michael Jordan. He says, "My father used to say that it's never too late to do anything you wanted to do. And he said, you never know what you can accomplish until you try." I just have a little postscript for my own dad. My dad is dropped out of school in 8th grade, which back then during the Depression wasn't an unusual thing. I always recognized him as having a degree from the School of Hard Knocks, and did a great job. I was amazed how much he learned from the time up until the time I was about 35. Till that time, I really questioned, what he knew, but I found out he got smarter and smarter every year. Thanks to my dad.
All right, well, thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Bob.
Happy Father's Day, and we'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you next week.
Thank you.